Today I'm going to talk about the QNAP TS451 Plus network drive. Now if you have one of these drives that was built in around 2016, likely it is already stopped working for you, and if it hasn't, this will help you fix the problem that's going to occur. So in 2016, Intel revealed that there was a bug in their silicon, and it affected the LPC clock, and it affected the USB, I believe, and SD port. So it just, yeah, there was a lot of things that it was affecting. And when the clock failed for the LPC port, the unit failed to boot up, and you pretty much ended up with a brick, and you'd have to buy a new one. Now, whether that was QNAP's end goal or not, I don't know. However, I'm going to take a look at mine and show you how I fixed mine and what you can do to fix yours. Okay, so here we have the QNAP drive torn apart. This is the main board inside the unit, and then there's a daughter card here that has the hard drives attached to it, and then we have another daughter card down here that has the flash on it for the operating system, our memory, our buzzer, or our battery for the RTC clock, and then a bunch of other things. And in the corner, which is most important, is a peripheral chip or Super I/O chip. This has the power management on it as well, and this is connected to the Celeron, which is under the heatsink here, by an LPC port. So that's Intel's low pin count port, and there's 4 address data lines on it, and a frame sync line, and a clock. Now, online you can find in the forums references to the clock and how to check to see if it's a problem with your board. I have a scope here, and I actually have it on the header. There's a header down in the corner that I've been messing around with. So this is the LPC header, and all lines from the Celeron pass that header and then onto the Super I/O chip. So if we just turn this on, the symptom for mine of the clock not functioning is that all the hard drive lights are solid red, and I have a blue solid light on as well. Now, I don't have my Ethernet connected, so you would have been seeing some flickers from the Ethernet being active. The fix for this online is to put a resistor between the clock and either ground or VCC or 3.3. On the LPC header, we do have 3.3 and ground available, so it should be a relatively easy fix. I don't know how long this would last, but obviously if you're trying to get data off the drive, it's better than purchasing a new drive right away. So looking at the clock, you can see that in my case the levels are not going down to logic level low, and so the clock is just not being registered at all. It is going up to the 3.3 volt level, which is good. You can see in this case it's a 25 megahertz clock, and if we switch it around, so we look at the voltage, the lowest level that clock is going down to is about 1.28 volts, and that's not quite enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to solder a 100 ohm resistor between that and ground, and then we'll take a look at the boot up sequence. Now that I've soldered the 100 ohm resistor between the LPC clock and ground, we'll do a power up sequence and see how it goes. So now the clock level is actually quite a bit lower, and you'll notice that all the red lights are off, and we should be seeing shortly there it goes, the little green light on the flash card showing that the Celeron is now accessing the flash for the OS. So this will go through its speak up, and then we have our beep, and this will just continue on until it does the full boot up sequence. Now it's not going to have any drives in here to do anything, so it'll be sitting waiting for drives to be put in. So yeah, this is a quick way to fix it, but as a long-term solution, I have no idea how long the clock will operate until it fails. I think when it does fail, I will probably experiment with injecting 25 megahertz clock on the pin and see how well it works, because if it doesn't need to be totally synced with the internal clock, then it should function normally. But that's a TBD, and it won't be testable until we fill the clock outright. So until then, I'm just going to continue using my drive. So now we just power it up fully, and yeah, if this helps you, hopefully you'll be able to get your units working, or if you find a QNAP drive that's got the Celeron in it, then you should be able to fix it if it's got the same problem. Now for the rant. 2016, QNAP was aware of the errata on this chip, that it would last 18 to 36 months. And the fact that they never did a recall on this, or nothing that I've seen says they did a recall, makes me very angry that I was still able to purchase this with a flawed chip that was going to be failing outside of warranty, and they'd be stuck with having to buy new hardware. I think that's kind of unethical of these guys. And the fact is that they will not accept a unit back out of warranty without you paying money to them, even if they know that it's a defective Celeron unit. So, do you buy from QNAP? I mean, I do like what they have available for apps for the unit, but this has really soured me on ever wanting to buy their product again. It's just, yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying them, even though they seem to be a decent product for the most part. Anyways, it's up to you guys as to whether you buy it or not. It's just, buyer beware. Thanks for watching.